Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. Picard is back for its third and final season. Let's just be honest, New Trek has been nothing short of a mitigated disaster from the 2009 movies through to the television shows. Discovery being an absolute pile of canine fecal matter. It's not Star Trek. It doesn't resemble Star Trek. It's antithetical to Star Trek and to the values of it. Picard, not much better at all. I dipped out in season 1 at episode 7 out of 10. I know, sound like a Borg. Ayo. And I should have dipped out after episode 5, after the torture scene with Egypt. It was vile stuff. And then I checked out the first episode of season 2 to see if season 2 was going to be any good. And on the first episode, I could see exactly where they were going to go. And I dipped after one episode. Needless to say that my gut was correct. And it is a substantial gut on that one. And yes, season 2 of Picard, again, was just an absolute disaster zone. So what happened? Something happened. Akiva Goldsman and Alex Kurtzman both stepped away to do other projects. And so they handed it off to a chap called Terry Matalas, who's a big Star Trek fan. So even though they're credited as executive producers, and I'm not saying this series is going to be a wild success or anything, but let's just say this series is a success. Rest assured, they'll try and take credit for this, but this chap, Terry Matalas, was given free reign to essentially do what he wanted. And being a legitimate Star Trek fan, he wanted to do something more Star Trek orientated. You know, something that we might actually want. Now, this first episode of Picard, season 3, is progress. It's not perfection. There's stuff which I'll go into, which I still have a massive issue with. But there was actually stuff in the show that I liked. So much so that enough seeds have been sown in this episode for me to want to see the next one. And we'll see where this series goes. Now, I know Robert Meyer Burnett has spoken about this very highly. So has David Cullen. I don't know Dave myself, but I know Robert. And I got a lot of time for Robert. And he was highly critical of New Who. So much so that he got blocked on Twitter by the Paramount Star Trek account. That's how crazy. Robert Meyer Burnett, by the way, who worked on the Blu-ray extras for Enterprise, who worked on the Blu-ray extras for the Next Generation series. Unreal, but there you go. That's where we are. But, you know, I have faith in those, at least, you know, I have faith in those guys, and we'll see. So we start off with what looks like, you know, an NX class, I guess. Yodi ship, but it's got the warp, you know, it's this modernized version. And we have, I have the subtitles on. I'll just turn those off. Because Picard just sort of mumble, so sometimes I have no idea what he's saying. We have the music from Fallout. I know it's oldie music, but there you go. And we scanned through the ship. We've got Captain's log going on from Picard from when the Borg invaded Sector 1. And we see Jack Crusher's suitcase with his belongings in that Beverly was given when Jack was killed in action. We see some hypo sprays, stuff basically that Beverly Crusher, as we see here, heavily surgicalized, what she would have sentimental attachment to. Now, her ship is boarded by 2 people, 2 aliens, and she has a plasma shotgun. They've got like plasma automatic rifles. Again, I'm not I wish they would tone down the violence. Star Trek is more thought-provoking than violence-orientated. She kills them both. She's wounded in the process, possibly hit in the femoral artery. And then she puts out an SOS call to Admiral Jean-Luc Picard. So that's the opening segment. We're then going to Chateau Picard. He's looking at a picture of the Enterprise D, the greatest ship of all time. He's with his new girlfriend, Romulan girlfriend. They're going to go to, I think, some Romulan settlement world, because Romulus, of course, is destroyed now because they only just discovered their son was... that whole thing was ridiculous, by the way. Hey, guess what? What? Our sun's just about to explode. Really? It's going to go supernova? Wow. How long's that going to take? 100? 250 million years? No, we've got about 3 days. Wow. That's crazy. We need to evacuate Romulus now. New Trek, ladies and gentlemen, where supernovas just happen. So no Romulus. I guess no Remus as well then, because that would have destroyed Remus too. Remember Remus? No, nobody does. Nobody does. No, because Nemesis was poopy pants. So he's packing everything up to go, and his communicator starts beeping in his study. His Enterprise D communicator, which he says, "Computer, why is my 20-year-old Enterprise D communicator going off?" And I'm like, Jean-Luc, that is at least 30 years. You got new comm badges in the movies. So maybe they're saying the movies aren't canon, in which case I'm happy with that. Moving on, he discovers that it's a coded message from Beverly. He decodes it. She's like, "You gotta trust nobody. I need your help. But you gotta trust nobody. You can't trust Starfleet. Trust no one, Jean-Luc." Last time I heard "trust no one, Jean-Luc," and I don't think it is going to be this, but the last time I heard that was at the end of the first season, when those little parasitic things were trying to infiltrate Starfleet. But there you go. So he goes to his girlfriend. He's like, "Look, I need to go on a little bit of an adventure." And she's like, "All right, yeah, I'll save you a seat in this bar on this place." So far it's okay, not obnoxious or anything like that, but it's yeah. So he goes to I think this is Guinan's bar again, so this must be 10 forward according to the lore of the series. And Riker's there having a drink, and she's selling merch behind the bar, but she's not there. Guinan's not there. Whoopi Goldberg's not there. She's got stuck in a door somewhere. And Riker says to the very attractive barmaid, why is there so many Enterprise Ds? And she says, "Nobody wants to buy the fat ones." I didn't think there was any currency in the... Never mind. And I was sort of thinking, wait, is Terry Matalas having a stab at Whoopi Goldberg? I don't know. And Riker's just like, "Hey, Jean-Luc, nobody wants the fat ones anymore. That's why I'm single." So anyway, Riker, by the way, Riker is the MVP of this episode. Jonathan Frakes, he just snaps back into the role as Will Riker. I very much believe that this is Will Riker. His mannerisms, everything are very much the same, with a little bit of extra life experience, a little bit of extra command experience. So his relationship with Picard is, as we saw, a touch in the first series, but that was garbage because his kid died of a bloody computer virus. Don't ask. he kind of, it's almost like a father-son relationship in a way. In a way. He sort of wants to look after his old dad. Instead of Jean-Luc Picard being his captain, it's more like his old daddy wants to look after. And he's talking about Frontier Days coming up, and who wants to listen to a 250-year-old man waffle on about whatever? And then Picard goes, "Oh, I've been asked to do a speech." I laughed. I legitimately laughed. I thought it was quite funny. Nice bit of deprecating humor there. And Will kind of sticking his foot in it a little bit, which is great, which is funny. It's not malicious. It's just funny. And so Picard says, "Look, Beverly's contacted me. She needs help. I need your help because I need to know a couple of things." And Riker fills in the gaps. He says, "Oh, what she was referring to was a protocol that was initialized on the Enterprise when you were incapacitated." And he was like, "What do you mean incapacitated?" "When you were Borg." He's like, okay. So when he was Locutus of Borg. So he kind of explains, he fills in a couple of missing pieces for Picard. And then Riker's just like, "I want in on this. Let's go to this place here." So because of it, they can decipher where Beverly is. But because Beverly said trust no one, including Starfleet, he's worried about where we can get some help. And Riker's just like, "You leave that to me." And then there's a man at the bar that's like really sort of like, "I'm a bad guy looking at you." Okay, that's fine. That's fine. So the scene was okay. I quite enjoyed this little scene. Didn't like this scene. See, this is the progress, not perfection. Because now we're going to get to the sore thumb. Now we're going to get to the cancer elements which need cutting out. Rafi is still in the show. This character is hot garbage. This character is New Who hot garbage. And just doesn't fit in what should be classic Star Trek and should be Star Trek as a whole. And she's pretending to be a junkie because she used to be a junkie. Don't care. She's trying to get some information from this guy and makes him reveal that there's something going down involving a red lady. She pays him some credits for that. She then goes to a very obvious open place where people are walking past, gets an old school communicator out and just goes, "This is Commander Rafi McFuckface, and I am part of Starfleet Intelligence." Yes, everybody, Starfleet Intelligence, that's me out in the open, communicating with my handler for Starfleet Intelligence. It was stupid. It was stupid. The scene went on too long. I'm just like, get off my screen, woman. So, Riker has a plan, and they arrive at a starbase, and yes, it's the old school starbases that we've seen. If I can actually get on this for a second, you know, from the OG next gens. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. So at least we've got some aesthetics which are beginning to resemble Star Trek now. Again, progress, not perfection. So the plan is they've just refit Titan, which used to be Riker's ship. At the end of Nemesis, of course, Riker and Troy are leaving to go and be the Chancellor and the captain of the Titan. By the way, Deanna Troi, who I think does appear in this at some point in this series, Riker's just like, look, I don't mind going on this adventure because I think Deanna and my daughter, you know, are quite happy for a little bit of time away from me. You know, marriage is in, gotta have manufactured drama, whatever. So he's like, all right, here's the deal. we are going to go and do an ad hoc inspection, and we're gonna get them to take us to where we need to go because it's just outside of Federation space. Then we'll take one of their shuttles, go and help Beverly. Job's a good one. And even though the captain, he said, is a bit of a dick, you'll like the first officer. And yes, the Titan is a Constitution class starship. Although they calling it a Neo Constitution starship. That's what it is. So it's a Neo Constitution in this. But yeah, I mean, as soon as I saw it, I was like, okay, that's a Constitution class. Because I'm a massive nerd. And so guess who the first officer turns out to be? It's 7 of 9, but she's not allowed to be called 7 of 9 because Captain Shaw's a dick. I'm just using their sort of terms. And he wants her to be called Annika Hansen, which is her human name. I saw somebody praising, oh, it's such a subtle use of dead naming. You know, look, there's no such thing as a dead name. There's just mentally ill people. Okay. So yeah, Shaw wants her to use her human name because she's human. Now, of course, 7 of 9, if they want to play that representational game, 7 of 9 is actually the poster girl for detransitioning. Just saying. Was a human, then was a Borg, then became a human, didn't want to become Borg again. So, moving swiftly on, the helmsman is actually Geordie LaForge's daughter. The actress is really cute. Just saying. Really cute, very bubbly, beautiful smile, lots of personality. That's Geordie's daughter. That's Geordie's daughter, to me. 7 of 9 has Jerry Ryan. Oh, Jerry. You don't know what you did to me as a kid. You don't know what you did. You wrecked me. You wrecked me as a kid, Jerry. So she says the captain is currently catching up on some data pads. You'll join him for lunch later. Yes, they're sort of like, oh, this is lovely. And, you know, there's a lot of... Picard is... He's out of his depth now when it comes to ships, you know. The old ways are all changed and all that sort of stuff. So they take this rather gorgeous Constitution class star, apart from the nacelles. Nacelles, you know, round them up. Stop the jagged edges. Round them up. But it's a very nice looking ship, is the Titan. See, look, the nacelles, you ain't got me on the nacelles. Everything else, yeah. I'm on board. I'm on board. So they go and join Shaw at lunch, and Shaw is a massive dick. However, the way that the actor plays him, when I say he's a dick in a good way, he's a very well played dick. He's not incompetent. He's not stupid. In fact, quite the opposite. He runs his ship very lickety split, and so he doesn't like when things don't go according to plan. He's very structured, and he knows that these guys have had their wild adventures. So he's just like, I like things. I follow orders. He's been in charge for 5.5 years, so he's clearly good at his job. He's done 36 missions. So he's competent. But he's like very wary of invaders on his ship, so to speak. So they say, right, hey, we want to look for Frontier Day. Wouldn't it be really cool if we zoomed off to this part of space, which is completely in the direction to where we want to go, but we'll go twice as fast, so we'll get there twice as quick, and we'll be there at the exact same time, and then we can come back and go, Look at this new Titan refit. The engines are just amazing. We just went bang, bang, bang. And the captain goes, yeah. No. I know you boys have had your adventures. That's not what we do around here, okay? So, request denied. See you later. And they try and Picard tries to say, look, well, I'm an admiral. And he's like, no, retired. And congratulations on your retirement. And then Riker's just like, well, I'm a captain. And he says, but you don't have a seat. You don't, because he doesn't have a ship. You don't have a seat. You're a captain in name only. So, you know, he's a dick, but he's a dick in a good way. I liked it. I liked him. Well, I liked him as an actor and as a character. But yeah, he's a dick. So anyway, he goes off to bed, and Rafi is trying to find out what the Red Lady is, and she's like, "Oh, I've got a daughter, but my girlfriend left me, and you know, because I'm like gay. Hi. I just want to signal that to anyone that's virtually listening to me. You know, just fucking get off my screen, Rafi." So the captain has put them in bunk bed quarters, which is they both find humiliating. Apparently, they go to bed. They just take their shoes off, but they go to bed in their uniforms now. And I very distinctly remember Jean-Luc Picard in The Next Generation not going to bed in his school uniform. So Seven just says, look, can I speak to you, please? And so they go to speak to her, and then she's just, can I speak to you off the record? And she's like, what the f are you guys actually doing? And they're just like, look, Beverly's in trouble. We need to get here to help her. And, you know, we need the ship to turn around and go in the other direction. And Seven is just like, it's already in the other direction. We're just about to get there. And in 3 minutes' time, Ensign McTavish Fucky is going to leave the shuttle bay, and you're going to be able to steal a shuttlecraft and go there. And I'm risking my in command for this, which is good. Which is good. I mean, I don't like the fact that Seven's now an uber aggressive lesbian, but other than that, you know, what happened to that? Seven is a cool, calculating character, even removed from the Borg. Cool and calculating. I hate this hard drinking nouveau lesbian that they've created. Bring back Seven. Bring back her efficiency. Bring back that. Come on. So the captain's just like, where the fuck are we? Because he's just outside this massive nebula. And he's like, right, lock the ship down. And then LaForge is like, somebody's just nicked a shuttlecraft. So Rafi goes and realizes that the Red Lady is actually Rachel Garrett. A red statue of Rachel Garrett outside Starfleet headquarters, or something to do with Starfleet anyway. And Rachel Garrett, of course, was the captain of the Enterprise C, who was killed in yesterday's Enterprise. So that was a nice little throwback. You know, lots of nice little Easter eggs, little throwbacks to Next Generation. When we're at Chateau Picard at the beginning, he's holding the flute from the Inner Light. You know, little throwbacks like that. And so anyway, she gets there, she's like, Starfleet, you're under imminent attack. And then a gravity circle grabs and destroys the building and then dumps it a few meters away, a couple of 100 yards away, just dumps it back down on the ground. Everyone's dead, Dave. Everyone's dead. So they take the shuttlecraft to Beverly's ship, and Picard's just like, oh, I've got an adrenaline rush. My hands kind of like, you know, twitching. And he's like, why? Because we're about to potentially go into danger, or because you're about to see Beverly for the first time in 20 years? And he's like, both. And then Riker says, well, my knees are fucked. So as long as we don't have to move or shoot anything, we'll be fine. Which, again, I laughed at. I laughed at because it was funny and it was very Riker. But, you know, an older Riker, no longer this chair squealing, you know, sitting on a chair business. People, Next Generation people know what I mean. So they go onto the ship. They find Beverly's in a pod. Riker gets taken captive by the other member of the crew, who turns out to be Beverly's son. So he's gonna be Picard's son. Because Beverly and Picard tried to have a relationship. Apparently, after Nemesis, didn't work out, and she just went AWOL. Probably went AWOL because she got up the duff. And she didn't want Picard to know that she got preggers. So Picard is now a deadbeat dad. Yay! Probably, maybe. And then this ship turns up and is just like, I want to speak to the manager. And that's the end of the first episode. So it was very watchable, apart from the Rafi shit. And apart from, again, the unfortunate hangovers from the previous series, like 7 of 9 not being 7 of 9, being 7 of 9 in name only. But Riker was phenomenal, was great. Jonathan Frakes was fantastic. Patrick Stewart was decent as Picard. You know, he's you know, let's just say I'm glad it's the final season. And there was some, you know, the nice elements of the aesthetics. The music was incredible. Once they started to get onto the ship, it was just banging Star Trek music. None of this nonsense that we've been fed. You know, we were getting some proper Star Trek music. Even the theme tune's gone. And the tune was just da 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 da. And then at the end music was actually the Star Trek theme from First Contact, the movie. They used that, so the music was sensational throughout the course of the episode. The aesthetics are much better. The crew of the Titan looked like a crew. You know, nobody was crying. Nobody was hugging each other. It seemed to be like disciplined. They were all lined up, ready for when the Admiral came on board. When they came onto the bridge, Admiral on the bridge, everyone stood up to attention, and they didn't relax until Picard went at ease. So it's progress, not perfection. Out of 10, I'll give it a 6.5. And I know that might sound not great, but that's not bad. For a start, that's not bad, because as I said, there was enough little breadcrumbs in this episode that made me interested to where they're going to go next. And we know that Geordie LaForge is going to come into the series. We know that Worf's going to come into the series. So, you know, there are characters which I'm very excited to see, and hopefully they'll be acting as they should. So I think that's a decent score for a decent start. And I'd just like to see where it goes from here. Once more, progress, not perfection. But at least we got some progress, and that's just the first of 10 episodes. So let's just see where it goes. I'll see you in episode 2 next week. Until then, take care. Bye for now.